Oh hi, I didn't see you there. It's Ideal Principal with a brand spanking new series, Major League in MLB The Show 23. First off, I want to say thank you to anybody who liked, commented, and subscribed from the Sandlot series. And here's to hoping you like old baseball movies, because we got another one. My plan with this series is basically the same as the previous one. The team from Major League 1 and 2 spoke with the directors of Back to the Future, got their hands on a DeLorean, and fast forwarded about 33 years. And now we'll see how they would fare in today's MLB. And half the team put on the jersey and said, "What the fuck is a Guardian?" And the other half got canceled for being a little too rapey. And just like modern day Charlie Sheen, they've also learned that too much crack can make you stupid, and too much sex can give you AIDS. So even though they all hate the future, let's see how they perform, and see if we can get to the World Series. After watching both movies and doing tons of research, I've created a 23-man roster of basically every character that I could find, and pretty much the majority of them never showed up on screen. So I got to flex some creativity, and I created players based on how their name sounded, which might make me racist, but I don't really know the rules anymore. But anyway, let's start with a character we all know and love, the Tiger Blood Man himself, fresh out the penitentiary, Charlie Sheen, playing true to his character since 1989. I gotta say though, he was quite the dreamboat, so it's not that surprising he caught the AIDS. But he's a legend in Cleveland, which is fitting for a city that celebrates dumpster fires. As of 1989, we haven't won an AL pennant in 53 years, and we have the great Ricky Vaughn to thank for that. So all jokes aside, Charlie Sheen should be celebrated in Cleveland, even though it's probably where he caught it.
Duh. Winning.
But he's the best pitcher in the league, when he's not pretending he doesn't love drugs and deviant sexual encounters. He's a 99 overall, and we're ready to ride his coke trails this year. But next up, we got Pedro.
Are you in good hands?
Serrano. When he's not busy talking about his hands, insurance, and Jabu, he's a pretty good ball player. He still can't hit a curveball for shit, but when a fastball comes down the middle, he's going to send it on the first boat back to Cuba. And then here's his batting stance. After sifting through like thousands of stances, I feel like this is the closest one to his actual stance. So, yep, that's it for Pedro. Next up, we got Willie, Mr. Steal Your Base and Your Vampire, Maze Hayes. He's also a pretty good ball player when he's not busy telling white men that they can't jump. And unless you're a fan of the Confederate flag, he's your dream leadoff hitter. He makes solid contact, and he steals bases faster than he evades his taxes. He did get some power and changed into a different black guy in the second movie, but we don't talk about that. They may have taken this role from him, but they'll never take away Prince Akeem, Axel Foley, Professor Clump, and Donkey. Oh wait, that's Eddie Murphy. Well, at least he has Blade. But anyway, here's his batting stance. The game didn't have a batting stance like this, but it's close enough. He still dances around yelling, "You can't touch this." And that's another role they'll never take from him. Oops, that's MC Hammer. But anyway, 2.5 men later, we got Jake 50,000 Chances Taylor, the bronze god himself. He looks like he pulls into the stadium with a 1987 Trans Am, blaring Lynyrd Skynyrd, and telling everybody how much he misses the good old days, when you could force a woman into the bathroom and call it flirting. But anyway, he's pretty average at the plate. He's only good because of his fielding abilities, when his knees hold up at least. But he's got that real main character leadership. But here's his batting stance. You could tell he's close to 40 and he's got some back problems. But soon he'll be a free bird, and he can use his old man wisdom to coach in Major League 2. But next up, we got the lovable retard. Dimwit, Rube Baker. Even though he's a little slow, he means well. And honestly, in the second movie, he was the heart of the team. Not that anybody really cares about the second movie, or even know who this is, but if it wasn't for him in the second movie, they would have never turned it around, and the season would have been lost. So he's really an inspiration to all those other idiots out there, like me. Next up, we got Eddie Jesus Take the Wheel Harris. It was honestly pretty difficult to make a legitimate old man, but I think I came close enough, even if he looks more like Mr. Burns than anything else. But he comes equipped with a screwball, forkball, spitball, all the balls. And he's ready to take your balls if you step into his lawn, or if you're part of the LGBTQADTV community, because it's against the Holy Bible. So he's ready to preach until everybody hates him. And maybe by the end of the season, he'll become more accepting and learn a couple lessons from his Cuban friend. But next up, we got Roger, strike this motherfucker out, Dorn. Straight from the country club. He's been going around telling everybody how difficult it is being in the top 1%. His hands get sore from writing so many checks, his legs get sore from walking 18 holes, and his nose gets sore from sniffing cocaine out of strippers' buttholes. But don't let him fool you. He didn't earn his wealth by playing baseball. He made his money by running a secret pedophile ring, just like the rest of the 1%. We don't know for sure, but that's my guess. But anyway, now that I've made him impossible to root for, here's his batting stance, which I think is quite pompous and accurate. Looks like he's batting with a stick up his ass. And then next up, we got Metcalf Ward. Who? He's not a real guy, but at one point, Bob Uecker says Metcalf at first, and then at one point, somebody had Ward on the back of his jersey. So I kind of combined the two and meshed a couple faces that I saw playing first base, and the results were this rootin' tootin' country boy. He'll slaughter your pigs for you and shoot any deer that he sees in Ohio. He smells like skull and sweat, and half the time nobody can understand what he's saying. But he always shows his support by hootin' and hollerin' and having a showdown hoedown, and the boy hit them dingers all day long. And then next up we have Blake Stocker. Who? And after some heavy research I found his name to be the closer. And honestly, there's nothing very special about him. I'll probably never use him. He's a very forgettable face, forgettable at everything. But I made him Stocky because his last name's Stocker. That's pretty much the only notable thing. And then we got Molina Reyna. I won't do the who thing again, but he's the shortstop. Similar to Metcalf Ward, Bob Uecker says Molina is playing shortstop, but in every shot it said Reyna on the jersey, so I just combined the names. And in every shot he looked Espanol in nature with a mustache. So this is what I came up with, and he's honestly a dreamboat. I like dreamboat shortstops, sue me. Next up we got Chris Schindler. What the fuck is that? Which is basically just a name I saw on the Wikipedia page for Major League. He was listed as a reliever, and seeing how his great-grandfather Oscar Schindler did great work relieving the Jewish, I thought he could pick up where he left off and relieve the Indians. And then we got our second baseman, Donnie Larson. Yeah, I know him. And knowing me and my propensity to create dreamboat infielders, I created another one. But you do see him in the movie quite often, at least his last name and his number 20. But I took some creative liberties to make him look less basic and to keep the lady fans wet and loose. But it was mostly for me. Mostly for me. And then we got Kevin Shoup, who shows up in the second movie quite often. And he's a former Major League pitcher, so he's already tired of everybody's shit. He's also no longer with us, so I can't make fun of him too much. So let's all take a moment of silence. And then next up we got Jeremy Keltner, who is just another name I saw on the Wikipedia page. But based on his first name, this is definitely what he looks like. And then we got Troy Pearson, who is just another pitcher that I'll never use. But I wanted to create another black guy, and this seems like what a black guy named Troy would look like. I don't know, let me know in the comments. And then we finally got another main character from the second movie, Isuro Kamikaze Tanaka. And if you've seen the movie, he's quite the racist caricature of what people think Japanese people are like, but it's completely inaccurate. He doesn't fly a plane into a boat once, nor does he fall on a sword or watch anime. Plus, there are literally no burns on his skin, so the movie got it all wrong. And then we're back to filler characters, Matthew Bushnell. Quite the redneck backwoods name, so I made the face to match. And then we have a real fun one, Seth Lindbergh, which is very Jewish, so I made the most Jewish face that I could think of. And I think it's pretty accurate. He's ready to swindle batters at the plate and swindle everybody else out of their money. His walk-up music is the Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler. And then we got our utility guys, Henry Winterer, who is actually white in the movie, I believe, but this team needed more diversity to hit their quota. Plus, who else is going to bring the weed besides the Jewish guy? And then finally, we have our speedy pinch base runner, Malcolm Tomlinson. And I'll probably actually just use him a lot, because he looks like that cool guy that everybody wants to hang out with. And if you couldn't tell already, I'm not black, but if I was, I'd probably want to look like this. But anyway, that's the squad. That's the team. We'll see if we can recreate the magic from Major League 1 and 2. Here's the schedule from the upcoming video. And here's the batting lineup. The lineups from the movies were kind of all over the place, so I just did what I thought was best. It's going to be a lot of small ball because I think we only have like 3 power hitters, so it's going to be real fun. But I think this lineup could bring the first World Series to Cleveland since 1948, and if not, I'm sure all will be fine. Cleveland fans will accept a couple wins and a reach around. But anyway, thank you for watching, and if you made it this far, I'm going to say the worst thing that I've said thus far. And if that wasn't enough. But anyway, thanks for watching, comment weird stuff, it'll make the algorithm like me. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But other than that, goodbye.